Congressman, the House voted Tuesday to pass the biggest rollback of financial regulation since the global financial crisis. What does this mean for businesses and consumers?
Well, it should be a big plus for businesses and consumers and for employees as well. We're trying to grow our economy as best we can, and many times we found that some of the regulations that have been in place have made it difficult. Now, this is in the House right now, and of course the Senate will have to take up their version of it, but I think it showed in a bipartisan fashion that we need to deal with some of the things that are inhibiting our growth in America. And also, you know, we always have checks and balances in our system, and that's going to still be there, but we're going to try and unleash our economy, which should help every American.
So let's talk about North Korea this morning, Congressman. The president yesterday raised a little bit of doubt about the June 12th summit that he has planned with Kim Jong-un. But I was reading in one of the national media reports this morning that now he might be open to Kim phasing out his nuclear program instead of eliminating the whole thing right away as a condition for working with the U.S. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I think it's impressive that we are as far as we are and that there's a conversation that's even going to take place. I was pleased to see that we had prisoners released. You know, for us in the local area, it's kind of bittersweet considering what happened with Mr. Otto Warmbier. But at the same time, let's see progress continue. You know, when it comes to negotiations like this, there's always this posturing, this back and forth. And then are we going to meet, are we not? And then you hear all these things going into it. There's advanced teams that get together. And I think that's part of the normal process. You know, I can still remember Ronald Reagan leaving Reykjavik when he was negotiating with Gorbachev and left disappointed, but they came back to the table and got things done. I expect that we may see some of that process here.
It seemed like John Bolton's comments about Libya and North Korea upset the leader of North Korea, Kim. Do you think that went a little bit farther than maybe what the president would have liked to have heard?
Well, there's been a lot of strong talk on both sides, if you look at it. I mean, certainly Kim has said a lot of things that were very offensive to the United States, as a matter of fact. So I think that these are all posturing. These are all just putting things out on the table to say what scenario are we trying to avoid here. And so it's really going to come down to when the heads of state get together and have their conversations.
Congressman Wenstrup, I also want to get your thoughts on the Mueller investigation. James Comey fired off a tweet today saying that it's dangerous to our country to attack the FBI, seemingly referring to the president and some of his tweets about the FBI. Do you agree that that's dangerous to our country?
Well, one thing I do know is that we are a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And it is this government, this Congress, that has oversight over these agencies. Keep in mind, Congress created these agencies. It's not the other way around. And so as a member of the Intelligence Committee, I want to continue our investigation into any possible wrongdoing that may have been taken place in Department of Justice or the FBI. And we do that on behalf of the American people that would love to have a great trust in their government. And I will tell you, the day-to-day folks in the FBI and DOJ, they are not being called out on anything. They do great work each and every day. But when people are doing something that breaks the rules or is improper, it's up to us to investigate. As far as the Mueller investigation, we're obligated to stay out of that, actually. But at the same time, as members of the House Intelligence Committee, we are obligated to do our due diligence and have oversight.
How concerned are you about the investigation and some of the allegations about what the president has or hasn't done? Is that a detriment to our country? Is it detrimental to the presidency?
Well, I would like to see all of this get behind us. I would love to see that at the end of the day, the American people know what took place within our country, what took place within our agencies, what took place on behalf of Russia towards fighting the United States or trying to create disarray within the United States. All of these things we need to bring forward to the American people. And I think we're on track to do it, but I wish it was sooner rather than later. It's taking quite a bit of time.
Also want to talk to you about the latest school shooting and just mass shootings in general. Of course, we had the one Friday that killed 10 people in Santa Fe, Texas, in the high school there. And I was just talking to a dad here yesterday who said, you know, I am so tired of being afraid to send my children to school. What is Congress doing about that?
Well, in the House, we have passed the Stop Violence Act, which will empower schools to do more things as far as prevention and hardening their facilities and increasing technology. And we're going to continue to go towards that direction. But look, this is an all-encompassing, terrible problem that we face in the United States of America today. It makes me sick to my stomach every time something like this happens. I'm engaged with another member of Congress who's an emergency room physician, and through military and being shot at myself, and he is an emergency room physician, Democrat from California. We're looking at this from the healthcare standpoint. Arizona has done a very good job at looking at all these types of incidents, what drove them, what were the pitfalls, how can we do things better, and I think this is the approach that we have to take. Much of it's going to take place at a local community level, but there's also a federal role as well. But it's a big concern to me that we have this level of violence in this country, the United States of America. And I feel for that father. I have young children, and I get it. And there's no one answer, I'm afraid, to solve this problem.
Congressman Wenstrup, they're telling me I have to wrap it up. So thank you so much for your time. I wish we had more time to talk, but it's always good to catch up with you.
We'll catch up again, Sheila.
All right, take care. See you soon.